Hey guys,
Happy Thursday.
welcome back to Devotions with Emma and Sammy. We are so excited that you're here today, and we're so excited for what we're talking about today. So, we're continuing talking about Jesus, which is super exciting from yesterday to today. Yesterday, we talked about Jesus being tempted in the wilderness, and today, we are not that far from that occurrence. So, we're going to learn more about how Jesus' plan while he was on earth was to surround himself with a group of followers that he could spend basically every second with. These followers, who were called disciples, would one day spread the message of Jesus around the world. So, we're going to talk about who he called, what happened when he called them, and then what that means for us. But first, we're going to go over to Emma for our theme and main idea and verses.
Yes. So, okay, our theme is still God's promises, and our main idea is Jesus calls the first disciples. And our verse is from Matthew chapter 4, verses 18 through 20. One day, as Jesus was walking along the shore of the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon, also called Peter, and Andrew, throwing a net into the water, for they fished for a living. Jesus called out to them, "Come follow me, and I will show you how to fish for people." And they left their nets at once and followed them.
Yes, so Jesus first called a man named Simon, who was also called Peter, which gets a little confusing, and a man named Andrew, who was Peter's or Simon's brother. So these guys were fishermen. They were doing what they did every day. And Jesus walked up to them, just like Emma read, and said, "Come, follow me. I'll teach you how to fish for people." And at once they dropped their nets and they followed him, which is so cool in and of itself. But what's even cooler is when we look a little bit more into the culture at the time. Sorry, my computer moved. At the culture at the time, we learn how countercultural this was. So Jesus was a rabbi at the time. That's what people would call him. And a rabbi was someone who was really famous and important in the Jewish culture. Um, to be a rabbi's follower, you had to be the best of the best. They only chose the most educated, the smartest, the best people to be a rabbi's disciple. So basically, a lot of people were told, "You're not good enough to be a rabbi's follower. I'm going to choose these people instead." But Jesus did the opposite. So Jesus called ordinary people like fishermen because he looked at them and he said, "I know you. I believe in you. Come and follow me." So the really cool thing is he does the same thing to us. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But that takes us straight to our question for the day. I just want you to think about the fact that Jesus didn't call the smartest, he didn't call the strongest, he didn't call the most beautiful people out there. He called ordinary people because of what he knew he could do with them. So just think about what that means for you and how that makes you feel. So pause the video and think about that right now. Welcome back. Thanks for taking the time to think about that. Our prayer for the day is focused on the fact that just as Jesus chose the disciples because of what he saw in them, he does the same thing for us. We have the choice to follow Jesus, but he always chooses us because of what he sees in us and that he believes in us. So I want you just to think about the fact, like we just did with the question, that Jesus chooses you. And then I want you to take some time to talk with him about that. You can thank him for choosing you. You can talk about how that makes you feel, anything like that. But just think about that and then talk to God about it. So pause the video right now. Think about and talk to God about the fact that God chooses you. Okay, welcome back. Thanks for taking some time just to think about what those things mean to us. It's always really important just to reflect on that. So we're going to keep talking about Jesus for the next few days, but we're going to go over to Emma for our invitation for today.
Yes. So, as you may or may not know, we've been uploading book club videos to this channel. And this week, our book club leader, Nancy, she filmed herself actually reading a story called Anansi and the Spider. So, as it's World Book Club Day, we would like to invite you guys to join Nancy for book club by watching that video, and I will link it down below. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye.